MUHAHAHA, viewer beware. In this video, I'm going to show you the 10 best free VST plugins for Halloween.
Okay, enough with the theatrics. Let's get into the plugins. Kicking it off with number 1, we have the Creepy Piano 3 Lite. As it sounds, this is a piano-style plugin with a bunch of creepy and horror elements to it. So just to play you a note. In addition, I have my kind of main settings here, and macro settings, ADSR, mod depth, mod rate, the gain, and the pan. I have some delay and reverb here. Of course, I can adjust these as I want, right? If I want to make a lot of wideness to it, dampening, size, which is pretty good. I will say I typically use the Ableton effects when it comes to things like delay and reverb, but it's kind of cool that it's in the plugin itself. And as you can see here, we have a bunch of different presets. Let's do Clay Shock. And as you can hear too, and this happens with a lot of different plugins, sometimes different registers or sections have a different tone to them, not just being pitched up or down. So this sounds almost like a metallic, odd harpsichord synth, almost. That sounds more of like, to me, like, almost more of like a piano or an upright piano with a different sound. Oh, I like that one. Almost has like a wind instrument vibe. Or I like the dampening on that one. Let's do Psychic. As you can see, very good for textures as well, pads. A bit of like an odd bell sound. And then, lastly, jump down to Supernatural, one of my favorite TV shows. Now we have Gaelic Voices on the Spitfire Audio Labs. This platform is amazing. It's essentially a free version of Contact. That's the way I look at it, that you get it for free. Then you have a bunch of instruments. As you can see, I have a bunch of them here that I've reviewed already. And this one, for this video, we're going to talk about Gaelic Voices. Turn this up a bit. Now, what's interesting about this one, I have a few different kind of settings or sections under Gaelic Voices or instruments. Now, this one, not too weird. It's more of like your standard right? But some of them have this kind of odd, vibratic, detuned sense to them. Kind of go for some like eerie style music. You see this one, a little kind of odd. See they kind of like that odd, called cellular. I feel like if you have that like subtlety in the background of a song, super eerie and creepy. Right? Very like oddly dissonant. Reminds me a bit of like a, almost like a, I don't know, like a, something in Gladiator almost in terms of the soundtrack. So you can hear that, right? So this is one of those instruments that when you first kind of use it as like a one-shot or a stab, doesn't really seem that horror-like or Halloween-like, but holding the note, that's what really kind of shines through. Like very unique vocal style textures. Good for like a build, right? Or even like to kind of go into something real quick. Number 3 is the Darksecord 3. Gonna play it. So as you can tell, this is kind of like a dark harpsichord. This is kind of the main thing. Now I do have some layers here, right? And some effects here that I can kind of modulate. This one, as you can see, doesn't really have any like other instruments similar to the other ones I've already shown you. So this is kind of the main sound of it, but I can affect it a little bit how I want. So first off, ignoring like the amp and the main controls, which are pretty standard, right? I'm gonna go to this distortion. Let's turn this down a little bit. Right? Almost a bit of like a guitar-like sound too. I have some reverb. And then of course, a delay. But now if I turn this off, let's make it super dry. I then have these layers here. So I can do organ. So I want that kind of like odd, raspy, almost like a dark organ feel, which I feel like actually could be well for like a gospel or a dark Halloween, dark gospel style song. Then I have harpsichord. I can combine them both too. Right? And then of course I have sub. So I could even use this just as like a sub plugin. Like say if I didn't really care about the harpsichord or the organ. I'm mixing them all up. Next is the free orchestra. This is on Contact Player. In case you didn't know, Contact Player, 100% free to download. And similar to Spitfire Audio Labs, I can download different instruments or packs or whatever. And this is the free orchestra. Insane, not only for cinematic music or orchestral music, of course, but also for some like horror, dark, scary Halloween style vibes. So as you can imagine, some of these are going to be more useful to you than others. But to show you, say this one is, right, more orchestral. But some of these more useful for like some nice texture in the background and some effects or ambiance. Then we have ghostly clusters. And I will say, sometimes you have to kind of mess around with the ranges. Also very good for like, I think a movie score and kind of like soundtrack as well. Super eerie. Then we have heroic horns. Not really Halloween themed, although you could use that maybe like for that Hans Zimmer like in a world. Boom, and then you have that like big cinemax style horn. Always reminds me of a Halo action when it comes to any kind of like slow moving choir style sound. Then we have some Pandora bursts coming up. That's the Hans Zimmer sound I was thinking of, right? Could use it in a horror song, but maybe not as much. And then we have Pandora Panic. I'll show you one more. Of course, because on this video, I'm just kind of scraping the surface of all these plugins. Let's do Power Strike. I just want to, let's see. Some Tiffany's, and I'll do one more. It's more of a percussive one. Let's do, what is tongue-in-cheek, actually? Definitely not Halloween themed at all. Let's do Wild Winds. Well, that's cool. This one reminds me a little of something that would be in like Looney Tunes, so definitely not Halloween themed, as if like some guy like walking and like looking around, but like as you can imagine, each one of these notes has like a different like texture and element to it. Next up, Haunted Guitar Light. As it sounds, guitars, but haunted. In addition, I also have a couple of different things I can do here. Looking at the main macro settings, not really going to touch those, this kind of stuff. But up here, this adds like some like odd kind of noise, as you can see, just the noise knob in general. To add like maybe more ambiance to it if you want. not gonna lie, some of them do have like a very similar like vibe to them. Oh, stop playing. Here we go. And I will say too, I have to be honest, when it comes to this one, some of them I think are not the most Halloween-y theme, like this. Almost sounds like a banjo-ish style sound. Like, this one probably on some distortion. No, definitely not. To make it a little more, like, dark, you know? Next is the Reconstruct Synth. This is a super unique synthesizer. I think they call it like a neural synth. It's kind of unfortunate. If I make this 100% to make it bigger, kind of cuts off this part down here, but playing it. So if you want to do some odd synth textures, like show you all the presets. So this is really good, like I said, for like, maybe not like your full-on lead, but potentially. I can do a lot here too. Just in a sec. Let's generate. Right, so some weird. This one just makes like the weirdest sounds. Very trippy, which I think is perfect for any kind of thing. Kind of standard, I feel like, when it comes to like a lead, but. Right, really kind of eerie. Almost reminds me of like I'm losing life, or I'm on a red bar in a video game. You can also mess around with this one a lot. There are so many different settings. Again, I'm just showing you some of the presets. What I can do to show you is like, let's say just the color I can modify. And then, like, say, and then I can, like, say, turn the idea up, let's make it chaos, generate the chaos. Now we have synthetic vortices? Vortices? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but to play it. Reminds me of something like Infected Mushroom would use, but it uses for some like really eerie stuff, especially in the lower register, like here. Alright, we have a bunch of different presets. So what's cool about this synth, or this plugin, excuse me, is you could use it either as like a lead element for some of them, or some of them could be in the subtle background, like I said, as effects, ambiance, whatever you're going for. Like, that could be a lead, although I think there is a lot of stuff on that one. Let's do one more. Let's do 69 to finish it off. Next up, we have Serenity. And I know you might be thinking, like, wait, Serenity's like a new age soundscapes style plugin. But remember, it's not what you have, it's how you use it. And although this might be the complete opposite intention of what this plugin's made to be used for, it's perfect for any, like, Halloween style themes and textures. Right? Mainly for, like, pad style use. I have 4 different pads here and then a texture. So I have this one. Pad 3. Right, really good, especially given the chords that you use. Also, a lot of music theory when it comes to creating that dissonant sound. So turn them all up. Then I also have some like effects here that I can turn on. So, birds, wind, rain, waves, and just like running water. So I could do something like this, and then have that be going and then start like. Got another synth for you. This is the Wave Razor. This creates super gritty, glitchy, just dark synth sound. So let's play it. And let's say if you want that kind of like, I know like Rez does this a lot, 1788L, Zed's Dead, I might as well say, you know, like, if you almost want like that dark, even left field bass style sound. We have some presets here as well, but you can really mess around with this one. There's a lot of cool stuff to the synth. It's very different than a lot of synths I've used. So I can like adjust. I used to be a bit better at this one. Yeah. Okay, there's a whole like step sequencer here. Just keep going here. So this is a good one. Like say if like I'm doing like almost like a dark dubstep song, a dark electronic track, even for like maybe a movie score or any kind of scary Halloween horror. Oh, that just went on its own. Creepy. We have. So what's good about this one too, similar to like Serenity or these other plugins I've shown you, you could either use this as like an effects or ambiance, subtly in the background, or just as a lead. I'm trying to remember how to edit this. A way you can edit this. Oh, here we go. Yeah. So I can, like, adjust this. And then there's a way to, like, even adjust it more. Because that kind of, like, you know, dark, gritty, glitchy. And last, but definitely not least, we have text to sample. This is the only VST 3 plugin, by the way, on this list. And this one's very interesting. AI is taking over, whether we like it or not. And this is an AI plugin that you can type in anything, and it will create a sample based off what you type in. So for Halloween-style music or scary music, horror music, dark music, whatever. As you can see here, I have a few different ones I've already kind of messed around with. So for example, here is a creepy beat. Now, obviously, I'd probably, like, chop that up, maybe do some stuff to it, maybe resample it a bit more. I have this one. Should I type in Halloween? Seemed too poppy, so it's not perfect, right? But this is a scary beat. Because obviously, all of the VSTs and free plugins I've showed you so far have only been really instruments, right? So let's say if you want to add, of course, some drums, of course, we have this plugin. And what's crazy about this too, and I did this here with Scary Beat, is I could take this, continue it here. So now I have this, right? And next thing I'm like, all right, I just like this part. The kind of like, almost sounds like a distorted kick slash 808. I can do this, hit generate, and it's going to take a second, right? But at this point now, it's going to create an entire beat, not only based off what I typed in, but now this one section, and then extrapolate it out to something new. So we have this now. Ooh. Sounds kind of like Cohen soundish. I feel like I could use that for like a drum and bass song. But this is great for, I'm typing like horror, creepy. Oh, I may have done this wrong. Oh, okay. I think I did this wrong. Because I was like, why does it sound so similar? I guess I messed it up, where I think you're not supposed to, I should have canceled the audio that I was section. Now let's try this. Okay, there we go. Ooh. So this is a deep, dark beat. Now let's try, I'm going to do horror creepy again, now that I actually know, did this right. So, again, this I could do all day, because it's super interesting, a bit kind of creepy, pun intended, because I'm like, I'm not a fan of AI, by the way, in case you're curious. I haven't done a video about that, maybe I will in the future, but. Ooh. So there it is, right? See, I wish I could combine these. I could definitely, like I said, to do this, I just click the audio thing. Boom. And then let's go, nope. Not OBS. I want to bring this one. And I'm going to do this. These might not be completely synced, but like, have this. Also, I would have to, like, chop this up and stuff like that, but. So it's pretty cool is right there and then I have my ambiance and my beat right there. And then, like I say, if I want to then, of course, add in all these other elements, download all these free VST plugins, put them together, perfect for any type of Halloween music, horror music, scary music, dark music. The list goes on and on.